Alright, what's up YouTube? So it's been a while since I've had a Beetle video, and it's time that I really get cranking on this thing. Summer's almost here, so I'm ready to get some real work done. So today I'm going to be pretty much stripping the frame the rest of the way down, at least the back half, and then I can start messing with this subframe from the Mk4, can strip that down, and then I can start to see how I'm really going to put all this together. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to remove is this shock. This is a 19 mil, this is a 17. Oh man, that is tight. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing I want to remove is these 3 bolts and nuts. This is going to be under some pressure, so be extra careful here. There we go. Not too bad. Okay, next is this plate right down here. There's 4 bolts all around it, and these should come off pretty easily. They're 15 mil. None of this torsion bar setup's going to be getting reused. That's why I can just dismantle it all and forget about it. There we go. Those are actually new bushings. I put those in. Okay, so here I'm taking this axle off. It's just 6 bolts all the way around. It's the this is a triple square. It's an M8, and then I'm just locking the other side because it wants to spin like that. Okay, and then once you have all 6 of those out, this should come right off, and it does. Now down here on the bottom of the strut, there's a bolt, or a nut and a bolt stuck on the top. Those should come right out for you. And with that, the strut is out. Okay, so the next thing I need to remove is this big bolt, which is a 17 mil Allen. I had a special Volkswagen tool because a Mark III transmission, the drain plug is like that, but I'm not quite sure where it is. But I had a lot of old lug nuts laying around. I cut them and welded 2 of them together, so I'm going to just tap that right into place, and then just put a 17 mil socket on the other end, or a 17 mil wrench if I can't fit a socket. Got a feeling this is going to be pretty tight on there. I'm going to have to use a wrench. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that doesn't show any signs of wanting to move. Oh man! Okay, so a little leverage, I was able to get that loose. Just put a big wrench on the back of this. It's not really a good idea because you could break your ratchet that way, but I don't think I had a lot of other options. There we go. That is a big freaking bolt. I most certainly will not be using these brake fittings again, so just cut those. Get that right out of my way. Get this out of the way. And now I'm going to do the whole same thing with the other side. Actually, this can come out now. Should be able to. That's out. This torsion bar should come out. There we go. And I did a little work on this too. This is the subframe from the Mk4. I pulled the power steering, or the rack and pinion off, because that's not going to be needed. I don't want steering in the back. So I'm going to try and just mock this up here, see how it fits. Okay, so I'm just kind of mocking this up here. I actually did end up pulling off the sway bar. I figured it was just going to be in my way, and it's only a couple bolts. So, but I've established my center point. This is all rough right now. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how this is going to go in here. Once it gets to the point of cutting this and re-welding this into that, it's going to be a lot more tweaking and finagling, but I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to need to cut this and what angles and all that sort of thing. And then across here is 15 inches, just about, give or take, for the whole thing. To make it match up to where the other hubs lined up, it was almost right on the money, 20 inches. So that's where I'm going to have to cut these, is 20 inches. So I only actually have to take off, you know, obviously my tape's bent there, so it's not quite accurate, but I only have to take off a few inches, which is kind of surprising. I thought I was going to have to take off a little more than that. I just need to figure out where in the contours of the Mk4 subframe, like in here, I think that's going to be right on the thing, right on the the frame from the Beetle, so I gotta cut that and I gotta make sure I can make that contour somehow. And then I'm gonna obviously have to weld in some extra brackets to just hold this thing together, but that's all down the road a little bit. Okay, so I've got it all laid out, how it goes. I've checked my measurements multiple times, and guess now it's time to cut this thing up. Important that these cuts are very good, but if they're not exactly perfect, that's okay, because I'm gonna have to tweak this and make sure it's perfectly aligned once I weld it. And that's gonna be a different story, but this, I just need to cut the material off so that this subframe can marry right up to this. And I've just laid that out. So here we go. I guess this is the point of no return. Well, there it is. Frame's cut, so that's it. Everything is looking decent. I need to put something else underneath this to just elevate it a little more. Alright, so I've gotten the Beetle frame notched. Now it should pretty much fit the Mk4 subframe. I may have some minor modifications I have to do to it still. But other than that, I've been doing a ton of grinding. I cut off all the little accessories that this car had that I don't need anymore, like the heater controls, and cut off the little stand I made for the hydro e-brake a couple years ago. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to like or leave a comment and subscribe, that'd be awesome. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll have a new video up next week.